Hello and welcome to another episode of Culture Corner here on the Serenity Resource Connector, brought to you in partnership with the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, as most of us know it. It's always a pleasure to have you here, whether you're joining us live or you're watching the replay. And if this is your first time here, especially those who are joining us from Western Jamaica, whether you're in Jamaica or you're joining us from the diaspora, a warm welcome to you. I'm Winsome Sharia Witter, and I'll be guiding you throughout this our discussion as we meet the final team from Team JCDC. We started in January with the Eastern Region team, and we met the team out of St. Thomas, Kingston, and St. Andrew, and St. Catherine. Then we journeyed to Central Region, where we met the team from Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. Then last month, March, we made our way back Northern Region, where we met, let's see if I remember my parishes right. We met the teams from St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. And now we are rounding out the JCDC Meet the Team feature with our team down west, where the sun sets. And that consists of Trelawny, St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland. And to tell us more about what's going on down there in Team Western Jamaica JCDC, we have with us Beverley Edward Stewart, Parish Manager for JCDC Trelawny. Welcome, Bev.
Welcome, welcome to my space. Well, thank you for welcoming me. I'm happy to be here. Awesome. And I hope we have an awesome discussion for the 1 hour.
Oh, yes. We usually have a grand time here. All right. So for those who are tuned in live, if you are connecting from down west, let us know where down west you're connecting from so we can give you a shout out here on the program as we continue the discussion. So what's going on over there in the Western region? Because
I know JCDC in the West, it's not happening at all, right?
I tell you, JCDC started off with a blast, January to March, a lot of workshops and a lot of the parish finals and so on took place. Tell us what went down in the West.
So nothing would have been different really in the West with all of what would have happened for the JCDC coming down since the beginning of the year. And after almost 3 years of uncertainty,
yes,
we are not at pre-COVID, but we are at a place where we're a little, we're a little comfortable with the numbers that we're seeing or the numbers that we have seen. Yes. And I know with the hard work of the team going in, we are going to be seeing pre-COVID numbers and even more, because there are students and teachers and communities who are really yearning to be part of the JCDC and the programs that we offer. So in the West, really, we have just concluded the Performing Arts Parish Finals. Okay. And those Parish Finals, I can tell you, from my notes, I can tell you that we feel encouraged. We really feel encouraged. The numbers are, as I said, not as pre-COVID, but we are heading into, or we saw numbers heading into the 3,000 in the region. So we feel good. We feel good.
Very promising.
Yes, it's very promising. This is after the fact that we would have seen a number of teachers migrated from the region. And when I say migrated, no, it doesn't necessarily mean that they've gone foreign. But they would have moved out, yes. And gone into another parish. So, for example, Trelawny, we have seen really a number of our teachers who would have taken students to the Performing Arts finals. A number of those teachers either would have gone abroad or they would have gone out of parish for other other duties. And so that would have impacted the numbers, and that would have impacted the amount of students who come in for the parish finals and the performing arts. And we saw that, pretty much
Yes.
throughout the region.
All
So,
right.
the performing arts is dance, drama, music, traditional folk forms, speech, and so on. And we're pretty much music. We saw all of those subject areas being almost exceeding what we envisioned for the parish finals. We saw a number of entries for speech, and when you look and you see, especially, I'm going to be a little, let's not, I don't want to be too much talking about Trelawny, but I use Trelawny as a parish that
Yes.
has a disadvantage. Understand what I'm saying? Because the teachers in Trelawny are not trained in the performing arts like
Oh,
our
okay.
competitors in Kingston and St. Andrew or St. Catherine. It's the same classroom teachers who prepare the students for the regular school curriculum. It's the same classroom teachers who prepare the students for performing arts competition for the JCDC. So we really want to commend those teachers for what they have been doing and what they continue to do. Yes, they have done exceedingly well. We unearth and we train, and so the training aspect of what we do, training and development, it really has brought those teachers up to par.
Awesome.
And so we would have concluded our workshops and into the parish finals for this year. Throughout the island, we would have used what we term as brush up workshop in lieu of our auditions. Because
Okay.
it would have been auditions, would have had judges in place, and those judges would have scored the items that come before them, the performance pieces. And for auditions, you would have to score 65 and over to move on to the parish finals. But this year, we say, you know what, we're going to eliminate for this year the auditions, and we have brush up workshops. So come with the pieces that you have, and the specialists really came out and assisted the participants in really bringing up the pieces to a particular level suitable enough for parish finals.
Amazing.
And
Awesome.
so we really saw teachers coming out and other participants coming out for the parish finals, and they did very well. They did very well.
Commendations.
We're impressed. We were
Right.
impressed. We're looking forward to the national finals
Okay.
coming up later in this month and into the early part of May.
Do you have a tally for the medals for the region?
I could supply that with you before we end the interview, but as it is now in my notes here, I don't have a tally for those.
Okay. No problem. But we have Green Island representing. Team Green Island is out in their numbers.
Excellence all the way.
All
Excellence all
right.
the
All
way.
right.
Excellence all the way.
Make sure you share the link so the other members of the Green Island family can tune in.
Yes, 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 yes,
Great
yes.
to have you all. All right, fantastic. All right, so that's for the performing arts.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to have the deadline for the Festival Queen and as well as the culinary arts in March, but there's some extension there. But before we move on to the upcoming deadlines, what competition is going on now
So
in the
what is
region?
happening now? What is happening now? We are moving. The performing arts competition is still on. It's just
Okay.
that we have finished the parish finals, and
Yes.
from parish finals we move now into the national finals. And so the
Yes.
performers will be awarded medals now and trophies and that kind of thing, and the best in whatever area. For
Yeah.
example, in drama, it would be the best director or the best playwright or that kind of best stuff, you know.
Yes.
So that will happen at the national level. So we are
Okay.
still in the season of the performing arts. We have just concluded the parish finals.
Oh, awesome. All right. So the work continues
The
as
work
they keep
continues in
brushing up
earnest.
to get to the grand final.
Yes, 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 certainly.
Okay, all right. We have Clarendon in the house. Kim K. Brown, early childhood representing. All
Okay.
right. Awesome. All right. So talk us through the upcoming competitions. I'm going to give you the spotlight so you can share with us a little bit, because it's never too much information to remind us, especially for those deadlines that are coming up, and
Mm-hmm.
those people who are not so
Okay.
sure if they're supposed to be entering. Remind them
Mm-hmm.
who you're looking for to be a part of that
So
application.
I have a competition that I really wanted. I'm passionate about the Festival Queen program because of the
My
impact
baby.
that it has on young women.
Yes.
We have an extension for entries for the Festival Queen, and that is April 14th. That's next week, Friday, 14th of April. And we want young ladies 18 to 25 years to come in with the application. You know, oftentimes when we go and we recruit, we hear the young women say, "Oh, you know, I can't, I don't have any talent piece and I don't have any talent." Guess what? The training sessions are designed specifically for that purpose. Oh, I don't know the questions you're going to ask. The training sessions are designed specifically to prepare you to answer questions that are thrown at you. You know, one of the things that we do is to develop the confidence in these young women. And once your confidence level has risen, you can do anything pretty much. There's no question that can really come at you that you can't answer. And if you think you don't know that answer, you can boldly say, you know, first time hearing that, give me some time to research, because your confidence level would have been so high that you can just say it as it is. So we want young women 18 to 25 years, never been married, no children. And let us explain why we say never been married or no children. For example, if you should become the winner of your parish festival queen, we would want to know that you do not have those kind of commitments to a child or to a partner. That if you're taken away, for example, for 2 weeks, to be prepared in Kingston, you wouldn't have disrupted a family unit, let's put it that way. And so we say we want young women who are not so attached with children or in a marriage. Put it that way. We know our young women who enter, they may have, all young women, not all, but there are young women who will have their partner and so on. But we say never been married and no children. Coming to the Festival Queen. The extension is next week, Friday, April 14. Come, go to the office in your region, put in an application. Put in an application. As I said before, the training sessions are designed specifically to assist you with your talent piece. And don't you ever believe that you don't have a talent piece. All of us have a talent. I normally say to them, if I had been exposed to the Festival Queen, you would know where I would be today. I'm telling you, because of what I am able to witness for myself that is happening with the young women who come into the program. And we want for us to continue developing our young women, because when we develop these young women, they become mothers, they become nurturers, they become teachers, and we want to have the kind of Jamaica that all of us will feel proud to live and to really raise our families and do business. We have to invest in our young women. And so I'm saying to our stakeholders who have very deep pockets or medium pockets or even shallow pockets, put some support in the Festival Queen program. We're asking, we have seen the benefits for the program. So the Festival Queen, that extension goes until next week, Friday.
All right. And just to share here, for those who are still not so convinced, you want to look back at the previous episodes of the Culture Corner. We have testimonials from past queens
Mm-hmm.
that would have shared their story of confidence building and where that has taken them, who
Mm-hmm.
through their parish projects have established their entrepreneurial journey, and a whole other host of things. Some who didn't know that they had the talent to actually get to the next level. Right. I've witnessed it myself, and we have a number of testimonials there in the Culture Corner playlists. So you can go back through, share with young women in your community to encourage them to be a part of these competitions. And the teachers, you would have seen and known, and in the communities, you would have seen them in church and so on and know their capabilities. Encourage them. All right. All right.
Yes. Just want to add that the Festival Queens in the regions really have been doing well for the region. And when they move on to the nationals, so when you become Festival Queen for your parish, you move on to becoming or to want to be crowned Miss Jamaica Festival Queen. And so Miss LeShun Redwood, she is Miss Westmoreland 2022 Festival Queen. When she went to the finals last year, she is the second runner-up for Miss Jamaica Festival Queen. She became third. She was placed third in the competition. So the Festival Queens in the region have really been doing well, and we want to continue. I want the region this year to have first, second, and third in Festival Queen.
Nothing wrong with having big, audacious goals.
Ambitious. I'm just being ambitious. So we're really asking persons, if you thought about it, just after this interview, you can go online and get your entry in before the closing date next Friday for the Miss Festival Queen competition for 2023. You never know where this may take you. You know what I mean? So we want to encourage the young women to do that. So that's it for the Festival Queen for
Just before you move on to the next competition, we have a question here regarding the performing arts. Kim K. Brown is asking if all the gold pieces awarded for speech at the parish finals automatically go to the national finals.
If you're the highest in your class and category, then you move on to the national finals. Highest in your class and your category, you move on. So let's say you are in class 3, and class 3 would be 12 years and under, and you had a Jamaican poem, and you scored 94. Automatically, if you are the only person in that category and in that class with 94, you will automatically move on. If there's someone in that class and category with 95, you're not going to move on. So if highest in your class and the category, you will move on to the national finals.
Just that's clear. All right, take it away. Where are we moving next? Culinary arts?
Culinary, yes.
All right, let's hear it.
And culinary arts, the deadline for next is next week. Not next week, it's April 28th, actually. Closing date for entries for the culinary. And for the region, our regional competition will be on May 5. Now, this year for culinary is very interesting. It's the year of the coconut. And you know how versatile coconut can be. Rice and peas, rundown in bakes, your baked product and so on. Your coconut drops, the white with the red on top, but that one called again greater cake. The coconut is versatile, and so it's the year for the coconut. So if you have that ability to create dishes, why not enter the culinary? Take up the challenge and enter the culinary arts for this year. And for the region, as I said, the closing date nationally, is April 28th. But for the Western region, because the finals will be happening in regions. So for the Western region, as I speak this evening, the regional competition is on May 5, right? So think of the dishes that you can put together. Think of the recipes, because that's another thing. You have to submit your recipes you can put together. And be imaginative, as we would say.
come up with something, that will stun the palate of the judges. Think of something, think of a dish, think of something you can create, and come and enter the culinary arts. I can tell you that there was a workshop that Trelawny, we merged our workshop with St. Anne. And when I went to that workshop, I saw senior citizens at that workshop. When you saw how excited these women were, knowing that they're going to come with all kind of special dishes with coconut, I'm saying, wow, I can't wait to see not only the Western region, but to see the other regions and what they're going to come up with. It's going to be really exciting. So I can tell you, don't be left out. Hop on the culinary train, and coming with the entries for April 28th and see what will happen. We never know what can happen. Closing date, as I said, for entries for the culinary is April 28th.
All right. And we journey on to the next C, the creative writing competition. What's up with that?
For the creative writing, it's interesting. There is no talent that you have as a Jamaican that the JCDC cannot accommodate. So in no matter what, whether you can write, whether you can sing, whether you can, there is a competition for you. And there are a number of persons who are able to write. They don't like performing. They don't like the stage. They don't like the lights, but they can write. They have the gift of writing. Now, this competition is for you. Creative writing. And guess what? There's an exhibition that we call the Creative Writing Exhibition. That exhibition is in Trelawny as we speak at the Trelawny Branch Library. So persons would have entered, whether it is a poem, whether it's a short story, whether it's a play, a novel, whatever it is that persons would have written in the last season. They were judged, they were awarded, because there's an award ceremony. And after the award ceremony, then there's a tour now with the winning pieces. And that tour goes around the entire island. At this time, the tour is in the West. It would have left Westmoreland, it would have come to Hanover, it would have been in St. James, and the last leg for the Western region is Trelawny. And it is here in Trelawny at the Parish Library until next week, the 10th of April. That's next week what? That's Monday. But Monday being a holiday, will go into Tuesday. So if you haven't gone into the Parish Library yet in Trelawny, you can go next week Tuesday and view that exhibition that is there. Get an idea also as to how you can write, what you can write about, topics that you can write about. Although there are workshops, when you actually see the pieces, it will probably nudge you a little better, give you a little harder nudge. So go and get into your writing mode and put something together. And the creative writing is really for that purpose. So we encourage people again, especially if you have the gift of writing. As a matter of fact, you couldn't have the gift of writing and don't know about the creative writing competition by the JCDC. Just go online, as I said, for the other competition, or walk into your parish office in your parish and ask for your creative writing entry form and enter the creative writing. We are here as a commission to facilitate all of this development in the Jamaican people. Whatever competition we have, it is really for that purpose. As our vision is to be the global center of Jamaican cultural excellence.
That's right. The epic team. Yes. Right. And just in case you need a bit of inspiration, you want to go back and check out that on the same Culture Corner playlist. We had with us last year, I think it was about in July, Lorna Morgan, who's from down west. She actually won a silver medal
for the creative writing competition, and
Okay.
you can check her out. Very, very inspiring. And for those in the diaspora, just in case you didn't know, you can enter as well. We also had on sharing her story from Trini, our sister
Yes.
over there. Yes, that actually submitted about 2 to 3 pieces, and she won silver and gold medal for different ones. So that's it. We have a question here from World Jams Radio. Is there an age limit for culinary?
Age limit? No, darling. There's no age limit at all for none of the subject areas. 0 to 100 or 100. There's no. Let me not put any number. No age limit at all on none of the areas. So as long as you're willing, as long as you're able, you enter.
Except for Festival Queen, you have to be 18
Except for Festival Queen, 18 to
to
25.
25, right?
Yes, yes. Thanks for that one.
Welcome. X Factor, always great to have you here. All right, thanks for joining. All right, then we have coming up later on one of Jamaica's favorite, the festival song.
Yes.
Tell us about that and the deadline.
Yes, so the festival songs deadline is also April 14. That's next week, Friday. And we would have seen, especially recently, the type of artists who have entered the festival song. And it kind of, some persons have other things to say, but I have a different take on it. So people will say, I'm not going to enter the festival song because when I look, it's just big stars win, Buju win, and then we have Statius win. And I'm saying, don't use that to deter you from entering. As a matter of fact, what that should do is encourage you to come better. Don't use that as a deterrent factor. Come better. The competition is really open to anyone, So don't be discouraged. Just come. You have a winning song, you have a producer, you have a songwriter. And as a matter of fact, if you are a producer, if you are a songwriter, if you are a performer, you'll get the $3 million, which is the prize. Right? So come, enter, bring in your entry to your parish office. You never know. You never know what will happen. Don't be doubtful and don't be dissuaded by the fact that big stars or big names would have entered and would have won. Don't let that be a barrier for you at all. If you have your talent, come on out and enter the festival song.
That's right. And just in case you need some additional details on that, you can go back to the playlist for 2022. We had extensive discussion about the different areas that focused on in terms of awarding for the different sections. So you want to go back there. We had the technical expert from the JCDC sharing on that. So you want to go back and look at that for the creative writing. So all of the different areas, we went through that last year and sharing the details as to what the technocrats look at when it gets to the finals. Festival Queen, creative writing, performing arts, all of that. So all the technical expertise were utilized last year to provide that resource there in the Culture Corner playlist for 2022. Yes. So now I'm sure a number of people are here because we said this is a meet the team feature.
Yes.
We can't meet the team without learning about what the team has been doing, right? So you've learned a little about what the team has been doing. Now we're going to start from Trelawny. Tell us what's the team in Trelawny like?
Okay, so the team in Trelawny, the team in Trelawny is headed by yours truly, as parish manager. And let me say that I have been parish manager for the Trelawny team since 2016. I was in St. Thomas for over 10 years, and then I was transferred to Trelawny. So I lead the Trelawny team. Then we have Mrs. Desiree Forbes Jarrett as parish administrator. And we also have Mrs. Brady Drummonds, Yannick Brady Drummonds, as records officer. And the team is ended with our office attendant, Miss Nita Natalie May. So that's pretty much what the team looks like in Trelawny.
And where in Trelawny can we find you?
We are at 3 Rodden Street, Falmouth. And I usually say to persons, if you know where the hospital is, if you know the road that the police station is on, if you know the road that the hospital is on, you can't miss JCDC. If you know where the all-age school is, you can't miss 3 Rodden Street. It's the same street that you will find us. You can call us if you are not able to come, 876-617-1871.
Right.
And that's for the
Trelawny. So we're moving west.
Yes.
Continuing west to St. James.
We go to St. James.
Yes.
St. James is a much bigger parish than Trelawny. And for the bigger parishes within the commission, there is usually 4 members of staff. So for St. James is led by parish manager Miss Colel Blake. And interestingly, for the past couple of months, Miss Blake has been given added responsibility, and she's also acting director of the division in charge of the field. And that division is the Community Cultural Development Service Division. So Miss Blake is doubling up as parish manager and acting director. However, she has Javon James as her cultural organizer. There's Miss Kedonia Young as acting parish administrator, and Donovan Kelly as office attendant. And if you want to locate them, you can find them at 8 Car Crescent in Montego Bay, apartment number 2, or you can call them 876-952-1134. So that wraps up the St. James team.
Right. And we're taking it along to Hanover.
Hanover.
Yeah.
For Hanover is led by Miss Cheyenne Williams. And Miss Williams is a JP. She's a parish manager. The acting administrator is Miss Natoya Lowe. Office attendant is Miss Karine Beckford. And acting records officer is Miss Alia Farquharson. And they are located, let me get this information correct for you. They are located at 15 Church Street in Lucy. And the telephone number for them is 876-956-3898. That's for the Hanover team.
Right. And we round out with Westmoreland.
And so you will find the Westmoreland office at Nepal's Plaza, Great George Street in Savannah Lamar. And their number is 876-955-4045. That team is led by Miss Coretta Spence, and Coretta is also a JP. She's a parish manager. Parish administrator is Mrs. Rosalie Wood Condell. And the records officer for Westmoreland is Miss Michelle Jackson. And Miss Verona Gregg is the office attendant. That's the big Westmoreland team.
Look at that. And from observation, the parish offices are located in the capital of each parish, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So that's the team wrap up for not just Western, but for Jamaica, Team JCDC. So we have met all of them, so you can look back wherever you're connecting from for your parish to know where to go, who to reach out to. You can put a face to the names that you have heard here when you go to your parish office, but at least you know who to look for and the names, right? So when you call, you can ask for, and everybody wondering,
All right, we heard it on the Serenity Resource Connector at Culture Corner.
Yes.
Okay, so we have Team Green Island, and they've been waiting. We are going down to your segment because now we are going to switch over to talk about our culture clubs.
Yes.
Right. So tell us what's going on. How many culture clubs, active culture clubs, you have down there in the West, and what's been going on down there before we have our featured club?
As a theme, as the name suggests, culture club. In different schools there and communities there are service clubs. There's a 4-H club that a lot of persons are familiar with. Now for JCDC, we have culture clubs. And the culture clubs primarily are supposed to be able to assist students, and not only students, because if you have a church group, you can also form a culture club from a church group. If you work at the bank and there are colleagues at the bank, you can create a culture club and register that culture club with the JCDC. So it's not limited to schools, but a number of our clubs are formed in schools. And we aim to lift that civic pride in our students. That's what we want to do. And appreciation for the culture and the cultural heritage. And so the Culture Club is that program that we use to accomplish all of that. The teacher who is responsible for cultural development in the schools would be the teacher that would be the leader for that, for the Culture Club. They are called culture agents in most schools. So you bring the students together and you form your club, right? After your club is formed, your club is registered. You decide among yourselves, or by way of vote, let us say, who will be the president of the club, like any other organization, any other club, that kind of structure. President, vice president, all of that. That would obtain also for the culture club. And you also decide when you will meet, because there are some culture clubs, they meet every second Friday, last Friday of the month. You will decide, depending on what is happening in your school, how you will meet and when you will meet. In the region, we have over 100 registered culture clubs. And let me pause here to say that for the culture club, we try to incentivize the members. And so we have what we call culture passports. What are the passports for? The passports are meant to help the members of the club and the club leader and the teacher to access places of culture, maybe at a reduced price, at a reduced cost. That is the intention behind the culture club passports. There's a little challenge with them, however, but we are not giving up on the program and what the intention is behind the culture passports, because that is what we really want the passports to do. So you may want to go to the museum, or you may want to go, somewhere, where a cultural event is happening. It is the aim to have our culture club members access these places at a reduced cost, if not free. We are not there yet, but that is really the aim. So in the region, as I said before, we have over 100 culture clubs. There are some clubs that we can't hold them back. They are doing so well, because I can tell you that there are some teachers who are so passionate about culture. They're so passionate about having students learn about the Jamaican culture. Because some people say, boy, the culture dead out. The culture is not dying out. But there are some persons who do not have the zest, put it that way. You know what I mean? But there are some teachers who really, come storm, come flood, come high water, they are not giving up on giving the students an opportunity to understand, to learn about the Jamaican culture and to keep it alive. And we are very, very proud of the teachers and the leaders who continue to do that. The club that we are featuring tonight is one of those schools and one of those teachers who not give up at all and who has done exceedingly well. And so every year, regionally, we have what is called culture club consultations. What are the consultations for? The consultations are to bring the clubs together in the region. When we gather in the region, we have the perfect opportunity to network. So, for example, Western Region, we're having our consultation. Culture clubs are going to come from Westmoreland. Culture clubs are going to come from Hanover. Culture clubs are going to come from Trelawny. Culture clubs are going to come from St. James. Just imagine the kind of network that can happen in an atmosphere like that. We bring in a guest speaker and we say, talk on a particular topic. Get the students to understand the nature and the value of the Jamaican culture. We have different topics every year, but I can tell you the networking that can take place in a space like that is phenomenal. And we continue to have our parish consult, our regional consultations. Now, after we have the consultations, then we have the big national event now that is called the Culture Club Conference. And that is held now with a representation of clubs from around the island. That is a bigger opportunity to network teachers and students alike. So we want to keep the culture club alive. We want to keep the culture club going because we understand the dynamics that can happen. When you look at our Jamaican culture and the impact that we have on the world, we don't have to ask no question if we have a treasure. And we can keep that treasure and hone that treasure through the culture club. When you look at our popular dance, just go on TikTok or YouTube and you see how the Jamaican music, the Jamaican dancehall music, the Jamaican culture, how it is impacting the world. It's like we are the center for global cultural excellence, as we say. So the culture club is what we are using. That's a tool that we're using for our young people to understand and to keep the culture going and to continue to impact the world, really. So the Culture Club, that's a program for that. One thing that I must mention before we go to the featured Culture Club is that the Culture Club members are required to enter the JCDC Performing Arts competition each year. That's a requirement.
Okay. All right. So that's a good stage set for Team Green Island. Where are they? They were lighting up the comments earlier. I trust that you've sent out the reminders and the entire Green Island families here, because now we have Sharna Miller, our culture agent for Green Island High School. Welcome to Culture Corner, Sharna.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, there they are, Abriel. Okay, all right. So we are going to give you the spotlight so you can share with us what's so awesome about Green Island. Because I remember when I sent a message, Green Island, and it was like Green Island, and some Frank Dangles coming back to me on WhatsApp. So there must be something big, and based on what I'm seeing in the comments here from Team Green Island, you think you are the best thing since sliced bread. So tell us why. Tell us why. What's happening there, and what do you hope to achieve as an institution through your culture club?
All right, thank you so much. Well, the Culture Club at Green Island High School, we take this very serious. One, because we believe that students who understand their culture are students who are aesthetically aware, they are sensitive, um, and if we're going to be able to build our nation, then we must be able to understand where we are coming from so they can be able to accept the future and to imagine, accept the present and to imagine the future. So we have a thriving culture club that we deem very important and a very necessary part of our school's curriculum. It's really giving lots of attention. So presently we have over probably if I start to we probably have about 150 students who are a part of the culture club. Um, and they're divided into sections. There are those who are in the performing arts, those who are in the civic part of it, there are those who are in outreach, and there are those who are in research. And we find that the students, they enjoy this. They, they like the fact that they are a part of history and a part of the history and the legacy of their school. So basically what we're about, we can talk more about our program and so forth, but that is the reason, one of the main reasons why we ensure that our culture club is well fed, it is growing, and it has done tremendously for the students at Green Island High School.
Amazing. And tremendous. So we have coming out of the performing arts at the parish level. How did Green Island do in those competitions, the performing arts?
Oh, are you talking about for this year?
For this year. For this year.
For this year, well, we entered every area, all 5 areas of the performing arts: speech, drama, music, dance, and trad folk. And we have medaled in all 5 areas. Our medal count, and I know the president is here, the medal count in terms of gold medal have us like about 30 something gold medals. Probably, if my memory serves me, we're about 26 silvers, about 17 bronze. What we have done extremely well at the parish level. We're now going on to national finals, and we just completed Tradford national finals, and we got 2 national awards as the most as the top school in the category of revival and also in the category of etu. The other areas will continue over next week, and we hope to take those trophies home when we get to Kingston next week.
Amazing. So did you have any preconceived goal objective for this year heading into the JCDC competitions, and how are you doing so far based on whatever
Well,
goals you set?
each year we set ourselves a target based on, what we see. And we really hope this year we were really going for, we did look at what we had. And our target this year was 45. We wanted 45 gold medals. We did not get there. One of the reasons is that it was a lot of work. They were just happening so fast. And we had to shelve some of the ideas. Well, unfortunately, even when we went to track folk finals in Kingston, we could not take one of our groups because we knew that we could have medaled more. But we could not because there are lots of things that are happening. We're coming home late. We have to consider the safety of the students. You think about how you get them back home, and that's very important to us. It is more than getting the medals. It's ensuring that our students they're safe, and not just safe in terms of security, but they are safe even in terms of their mental. And so we look at those things, and we were not able to. We hope, however, though, that we will be on the records for the Marcus Garvey Awards. We hope to do extremely well at the national finals. We think that we will top national finals in drama. We're looking forward to our music. we're looking forward to all the other areas, and we think we are going to do pretty well because the students are high energy, they're revved up, they want to do well, and that's just it. They have a passion. These students are passionate about the performing arts. As a matter of fact, I tell you something that we do. Many persons will say that, yes, Miss Miller, she's the director, she does all of that. But let me tell you, these are the students who take responsibility. So our senior students, they are the ones who each year they have to do. So there are 2 students who in charge of speech. They get the students ready. Some are getting the costumes ready. Some are ensuring that the meals are ready. But it's a total teamwork, and they take charge because it's not only about them performing, but it's about them also learning responsibility. It's about them socializing. It's about them building family bonds. So our juniors know that they must be very respectful of our seniors, and they are, because one day they wait on the progression when they too will become seniors. So it's a beautiful experience. They are excited. The club is not about me. The club is all about them, and they take responsibility for their club.
I can feel it when I hear when I hear it's just amazing because I'm hearing a lot of life skills being passed on there. So it must be a very rich and rewarding experience being a part of the culture club and as an institution. And if you have all of that, how do the parents factor in the overall picture?
I am so happy that you asked because our parents are very important in all of this. They're important because one, you want to ensure that whatever you're doing, first, they're comfortable with it. Two, they form a part of our research because whatever we're doing, sometimes, not us, sometimes, most of the times, our parents are there. They're helping us with finding out. For example, this year when we did revival, all the costumes came from a parent. A
Wow.
parent came in to help to show us what to do. If you think about even the ETU, it's adults who are coming in to say, hey, let's try this. And so they're learning. Parents are there, they're watching the performances because it's very important to that parents to watch their kids to affirm them. There are some who wants to come with us on the trip to help sure that the costumes are ready, the discs are ready, putting on the makeup. So our parents have been a real part. Some can't make it, but they're sending down, hey, we're gonna send somebody to help with some costumes. So it's not just a one student or it's a whole school experience. It's all the stakeholders, it's the school board, it's the staff, it's the parents, it's the community. So because what we want to do is to grow communities. So when they leave, I tell you something that happened with our culture club that is really beautiful. When they leave, all of them, they go out, so they become little cells, and so they go to and form their own little thing, and try to come into their own. And so what you have now this year, we could not do it. What you have is what we call gifts, and gifts is called Green Island former theater students, and now they too have formed their own culture club to be registered, and they're coming in. So they're involved in their own ETO group. They have their own drama group, and not only for school, but they're now involved in the community.
Amazing. I just love what's going on. And if we can get this in the different schools with the same amount of energy, commitment, and passion, we are well on our way to actually preserving our culture and having the children understand and have an appreciation too, so that they can carry on the mantle after we're gone. Because we're only here for a while.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Oh, Lady Sharna, it was so great to have you share with us
Thank you
that we
so
had a little
much.
more time.
Yeah, thank you so much. And there are some Green Island students in the room.
Yes, please go ahead and make them feel
Oh,
extra, extra
you
special.
all know how much, where you are. Just write in the chat. Um, you know how much I wanted to publicly say how much I appreciate these students, how much I admire just their determination, how much they know that I love them. They think I'm miserable. They know that. but I just want them to understand that there's just so much good in them. There's just so much potential, and they have the ability to just change the world. So I want to tell them that in their hands is so much ability, and they're to use it to the best of their ability and continue to be a part of excellence. So Green High School, you know that our motto is excellence, and we continue to ensure that there's excellence. And we're looking forward to going to Kingston to Speech Festival, right, people? And if we know that we're going to tap it in Drama Festival and Speech Festival and everything else. So looking forward to see you. Big up yourself, April. Big up yourself, all of you in the group. Just right, excellence. And hey, guys, rehearsal starts next week again. We'll see you around.
Awesome. Thank you ever so much. Oh, Lord.
I hope I see them popping up now, and I hope I'm not missing their names.
Yes, they're sending love, enough love. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
They love you even more. They love when you give them the trouble. All right, fantastic. All right, so you mentioned revival, so we're bringing back in Sister Bev to come and share with us now about some traditional folk forms over there in the Western region. Talk to us. We have less than 4 minutes to go.
Yes, Shauna, quickly.
Yes.
You make my head raise. You make my skin raise. Trust me. Keep doing what you're doing and keep nurturing those students.
Yes.
So Shauna just spoke about revival, right? Now, in the West, and she spoke about Etu. So let us say now, Etu is that folk form that is unique to Hanover. In Westmoreland, the folk form that is unique to Westmoreland is Gere. In Trelawny, the folk form that is unique to Trelawny is Tambo. Tambo me tambo me tambo ye, tambo ya ya. Tambo me tambo me tambo ye, tambo ya ya. Now, in St. James, you have a form, a cultural practice, we would call it, that is unique. Not unique per se to St. James, but it's very prevalent there. It is Rastafari and Nyabingi. You hear Nyabingi, you talk about the Pit 4 Nyabingi group. When you talk about Nyabingi, you talk about Pit 4, and Pit 4 is located in St. James. So, more so, Westmoreland, Hanover, and St. James, with those forms I spoke about earlier, would have been the forms that really come into the festival for the JCDC. And when you hear Shauna talk about Etu, it is the adults who come usually and show the students, so they get the real deal. It's not no textbook kind of teachment. That's
right.
Yes, they get.
We just have to put this in there that Etu, it is the only place that Etu is found in the, unlike most of the other forms, it's only found at one place. It's Pell River, Grange, and Kendall, and it's the only one that's practiced. That's the only place it's practiced in Jamaica outside of Yoruba. So it's a very dear folk form that we have to preserve.
Yes.
Yes.
And so the JCDC, in all of what we do, we preserve the traditional folk forms. In the West, I just named out that those folk forms in the West, but for the island, we know we have the Kumina in St. Thomas, and in Portland, you have Brookings and so on. In St. Mary, you have Dinkimini. We have the folk forms throughout the island, and the JCDC is committed to keeping these traditional folk forms alive. And it is done by way of workshops. Specialists come and they train those persons who are interested. And outside of the festival, there are other workshops that are held because we want to keep the traditional folk form alive. 100 years from now, it should not be lost. Persons should know about these folk forms. And might I say, last week I mentioned something about Tambo in Trelawny, and that it is found in Wakefield, and somebody quickly corrected me that it is coming out of Africa, and I said yes, all our folk forms are most, if not all, coming out of Africa. But when they came into the Caribbean or came into Jamaica, they settled at different parishes. And so we say it is unique to those parishes. So Shauna is right with it coming out of Yoruba. It's a Yoruba tradition, you said, Shauna, and settled
Yes,
in
it is. Yeah.
and settled in Hanover. So that's it for the folk farm. We are committed to keeping the folk farm alive, and we do so through our workshops and training sessions.
Awesome. All right. We are a little over the 1 hour mark, but let me invite you, if you have not done so already, to subscribe, set your notification bell, like, comment, leave a comment. Team Green Island, I want to see comments. Leave your comments on the YouTube page and invite others over. On
Yes.
second Thursdays, we have community safety and security, and we are going to be looking at some resources that are available. And for next week, we're going to be focusing on domestic violence. What are the different resources that are available for persons in such situation that you can recommend them to? So please share with your communities. I want to see Team West in the house as we continue, and you can look at the different playlists. We have a lot of stuff there. From starting your business, if you're not sure what to do in starting your business, there's a playlist there that guides you through what to consider before starting a business and all of that about the different services that are offered at the municipal corporation, how you can access them. We have early childhood development, so you can go through, make recommendation to your early childhood institutions down west, and let us all grow together. Thank you so much again, Lady Beverley and Sharna, for sharing virtual space with me here on Culture Corner on the Serenity Resource Connector. Team West, thank you so much. And for all those who are able to join us live or who will be watching the replay, thank you. And you continue to stay safe. And we'll see you same place, same time, Thursdays, 8 p.m. God
All
bless.
the best. All the best.
Thank you.